Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Today is June 12th, 2022, and I'm going to do your daily collective. I apologize I didn't get this out yesterday. There was something going on with my phone. Every time I try to record, it said that I didn't have enough storage. Pain in the ass. But I'm here. And at the end, there will be a message for a viewer up here, so I won't say who that is. You'll have to find that out at the end. Okay. Slick, right? So, anyway, I'm not that slick. I understand there's a fast forward button. I'm just joking. Anyway, let's get the collective reading done. All right. I always wake up in the morning and turn this camera on, and I just kind of push it back. You guys get to see my morning face. All right, collective, June 12th, 2022. Today is my husband's birthday. I'm not sure what he's going to want to do today. All right, so June 12th, 2022, for the collective. Oh, sheesh. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Cups. That's the overall energy. Oh, let me go further. Then the Three of Cups, Lovers, Priestess. All right, so today, overall energy. Well, the overall energy would be the Nine of Cups, right? The crowning thought is the Queen of Swords. Very analytical. Very connected to spirit. Definitely vocal. Speak your truth. This is communication. Honest. You see with the Queen of Swords, this is somebody who's already been through the worst, right? The Queen of Swords has been through the worst. And once they reach a certain threshold, they no longer are willing to deal with things that they've dealt with before because, well, they have enough experience. They've learned their lesson. And they also know how, and look, how connected they are to spirit. See how the doves flying around at the tip of that sword, the light that's at the tip of the sword? They're so connected to spirit that they don't need... I would even go so far as to say they don't really need advice from others. You know, I mean, it's always good to listen to other people's advice because, you know, you could always gain a new tool to put in your tool belt, right? But there's also a mischievousness with the Queen of Swords. You know, it's sort of like, you know what I've noticed doing this is every character in the tarot truly does play the role of the fool. And what is the tarot? The fool's journey, right? So there's a little bit of mischievousness with the Queen of Swords, where, and I don't mean mischievousness in a devious, sneaky way. I mean it in like a very well thought out, secretive, it's a very secretive way, but I'm trying to get a good feeling for what I'm trying to say. Let me see. You know, when you think of like a Siamese cat, you know, and the way they move, and they're very, very intelligent. They're very intelligent, but they're very mischievous. And everything they do is thought out. You know, it's like calculated movements. That's the Queen of Swords. And I feel like that's the energy that, I'm going to say we, because I'm speaking for the collective, that we're embodying. And it's definitely, and I want to say kickstart. I'm hearing kickstart, a new thing. Kickstart something new, something tangible with the Ace of Pentacles. I think all the plans falling through in the past, it's exhausting. You know, it's just, this is what's bringing you here, you know, and the Queen is how you're thinking, the thought process to get this person from this exhausted exhausted Nine of Wands energy to make it through the threshold past the 10 to start over again, you know, with that Ace of Pentacles. And the next card out is the Tower. Normally, that card feels really uncomfortable. But I feel like in order for that Ace of Pentacles to begin, this is kind of like keeping up with the energy that we've already been used to. You know, Queen of Swords knows that Tower is necessary. It's necessary. It's bringing down an establishment, the way things have been established, bringing that down. And look, the Tower, it's very interesting because I would even go so far as to say that the Tower may not even be a structure, an actual structure, meaning like the breakdown of a family establishment. It may not even be that. It may not even be an actual place where you know, sort of like when a business collapses or a home, you know, and I don't mean a literal collapse, but you know what I mean. But I really feel like with this, with the Tower, look at the top with the way that the building is being obliterated by spirit, by this lightning, right? If you look, it's like there's 1, 2, 3, what appears to be crowns. So I really feel like this is a deconstruction, a tearing down of an old paradigm, like an old thought process. You know, the way you think of things is being torn down. But that can be rebuilt, right? But making wiser choices, wiser decisions, breaking down old thought patterns, changing your thought pattern from one that is disconnected to spirit to one that is actually paying attention, right? With the Queen of Swords, especially. Yeah. Now, to clarify that Tower, I've got the Queen of Cups, 4 of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. At the bottom of the deck, 10 of Swords. See? That's... wow. Hold on. 10 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, Temperance. Now, Temperance is at the bottom of the other deck as well. And underneath... whoa. Holy shit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. So, look. Temperance is at the bottom of this deck with the Ace of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles again. So we've got the 10 of Swords crowning the clarifier, right? The end of a thought process. What, you know, like the end of the way, the thinking about something. Maybe it's been such a negative thought process that every time you would start something new, it would flop because the thought process was too negative to sustain. Whatever it is they're trying to build has to be built up in a very clean energy, in a very clean, positive thought process. So the Temperance is here to help guide and give you a solution to figure out how to make that happen. In order to make that happen, there may have to be a deconstruction or deconstruct on who you surround yourself with, what you listen to on the radio, what you listen to or watch on TV, how you speak to people, even changing that, practice that, because that takes a lot of practice, right? Just start practicing coming from a negative thought process into a more positive one. That's the challenge. You know, I challenge anybody to not think of a negative thought for an entire 24 hours. Not one negative thought. And see how difficult that is. It's really harder than it seems, than it might seem. Try it. It's very interesting, and it's very telling. It's very telling of yourself to, you know, give yourself a test. It's an easy test. It's an easy test. See if you can stop all negative thoughts for a matter of 24 hours. But there's abundance here. There's abundance here. There's a whole brand new start, a brand new life, if you want it, in a positive direction. But it really is about your thought process. Truly. But what's coming up is the deconstruct of that. And what does it create? The Four of Wands. It's stable. More empathy, more compassion. See, when you're like this, you know, when it's really uncomfortable, you know, rigidness starts to set in, and bitterness, and resentment, and cutting yourself off from sharing emotionally with people. And it doesn't come from a place of bitterness. It doesn't come from a place of being nasty or bitter or rigid. It comes, you know, no, more often than not, you were a really compassionate, empathetic person that kept giving and giving and giving until it depleted you and turned you bitter. That's very possible. Very possible. And it's how to get back to where you were and set healthy boundaries and do it again, this time differently, this time in a way where you still feel satisfied for what it is that you give to people, but you're also comfortable and grounded because you set up healthy boundaries. Yeah. Co-create. Co-create. That's with you in spirit. Co-create. Treasure Island. Yeah, I mean, Treasure Island is the abundance. It's sort of like the after the long haul, you know, through the sea, after long travel, getting to a place like after the deconstruct of the tower, after that comes down, you know, and changing the thought process and your goal. You know, it's kind of reminds me of the Nine of Cups. It's that wish fulfillment, you know. This is a number 9 card. And then this is the celebratory, you know, getting to where, and you know, the Nine of Cups is right after. This is where the Fool's journey, part of the Fool's journey is, this is where he gets to after leaving something very emotional. He had to leave something that was painful or put it behind him in order to move forward and feel good again. Look, TikTok, go the distance. It's like, now's the time. If you're going to do this, it's time. And don't give up. Make it to the finish line. Don't stop until you're proud. Yeah, the orphaned, that's in the past. That flew way over here to the side. It's time to leave this mindset in the past. Change. Number 5, change. Changing that mindset. It's time to leave the orphaned mindset aside. And we're in the perfect energy for that to happen. You know, truly, our happiness is our choice, right? And I can tell you that personally, I've struggled with that. You know, when you've got so much negative stuff that is just beating down on you every day for years at a time, it does reprogram you. I don't care how hard you fight. When you live in that and you're surrounded by it, it changes a person. It really, truly changes a person. And sometimes, you know, you have to remove yourself from that thing that changed you so dramatically in order to get back to where you were or who you once were. I mean, you'll never be the same exactly, you know, because there's a lot of growth that takes place, but you can get back to being a compassionate, empathetic, not so rigid, not so disappointed, like looking at everything as the glass half empty, you know. There was a lot to be learned there, but the lesson's been learned, and it's time to move past that now, right? So, let's see what else. Walking away, what'd I say? Walking away. But look, it's so funny. Walking away, 27. So 2 plus 7 is 9. So this is like, it carries the energy of the 8. Walking away, like I was saying here, right before you get to the 9, you've got that 8 of Cups energy. Walking away from what's no longer serving you emotionally. This doesn't feel good, you know? But you also know, especially if you see this woman is wearing red, that's also signifies the root chakra. But her red is kind of faded. You know, it's like it's dark in one area, but it's faded in the next. You know, a weakened root chakra isn't as bright and bold and revved up as it should be, you know? And that can feel depleting. It can feel exhausting, right? So as she's walking away from what is emotionally scarring, emotionally painful, her red will begin to deepen in this cloak. It'll begin to deepen as she walks towards the 9. The deeper the red gets, the more grounded she will become. But it's also going to bring stability with that green. This is blessed. It's guided, divinely guided. Spirit is all around saying, you know, leaving something that was comfortable. I mean, look at the gates. It's gorgeous here. It was comfortable physically. But there's butterflies in here, right? There's butterflies. And that means change, evolve, time to grow, move past it. Like, this almost feels sad, you know, like this is really emotional, leaving that, whatever this is, leaving that behind. It could even be, you know, when you know that things need to change, even if it's within yourself, even if it's just a thought process, if your own thought process has held you back, you know, you can become emotionally attached to a certain way of thinking. And even changing that sometimes can be hard, you know? It's like breaking up with an aspect of yourself. And sometimes you have to mourn that. There feels a little bit of sadness here. Because I think on some level, you mistake it for failure. And there's no failure. It's an experience. You know, something to learn. Yeah, all right. So the bottom of the deck, there's strategy, right? So, obviously, in order to get from here to there, there's strategy. You know, you've got to plan this out. This has to be a little bit more methodical, a little bit more well planned out, tying up loose ends even. More planned out than anything before, and it needs to be taken seriously. I mean, Spirit is here. Like, if you want to see what's on the other side of this moon, then you've got to take the blindfold off, remove the mask of self-deception. It's okay for this to come down. I mean, it has to, in order for you to look at just the crown on top of crown on top of crown. You know, and it could be Spirit coming in and bursting through, penetrating through the crown chakra to give you downloads. It's like downloads coming in and removing and deconstructing the negative thought pattern. You know, sometimes we have to remove our own negative programming and stop blaming other people, you know? And I think that's part of it too. All right, so guys, I really hope that made a lot of sense. And please comment below if it did. If there's anything else you would like to see from me, comment that as well, and I'll take that into consideration. I have a lot of changes coming up, so bear with me. I'll be doing the collective readings like this in the morning. I'll still continue to do that, but there's a lot of changes coming up with me, a lot of planning, and so I'm going to try to keep up with what I'm doing now and planning new things, but I'm going to pace myself so I don't get burned out. But yeah, there's a lot of changes coming. So this reading today also resonated with me, myself. All right, so the lucky person from the comments today to get a card from the the Universe Has Your Back Oracle deck. This is just going to be a simple message. This is going to be for Leslie Gibson. Leslie, thank you for commenting on past videos. And this card is going to be for you, my dear. Sorry, Leslie, I'm just trying to tune into your energy a little bit so I could pull up a card for you. And this will be your message for the next 24 hours. Or actually timeless. Maybe it's a good mantra for you. Maybe this card will be a good mantra. That's a better way to put it. Something that you can repeat to help you move through. I think mantras work well with you. All right, Leslie, let me get you a card. All right, you've got two. I am the dreamer of my dream. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. Wow, it's kind of perfect that these two came out together. I am the dreamer of my dream. You know, I bet that this reading really resonated with you too. I think this is literally right up that alley. Yes, accepting the love of the universe as your primary teacher. You know, sometimes I feel like, Leslie, you get confused by Spirit. I think you try to listen to Spirit, but then you're like, no, that don't even make any sense. I don't even know why you would tell me that. Thanks for the advice, but no, I'll put that in my pocket for a later date. I saw this vision way better. I'm going to do this. And then it'll flop and you're like, oh, shit, why did I do that? You know what I mean? So Spirit's like, well, you've got to, it's almost like playing the trust game, falling back and trusting that somebody behind you is going to catch you, you know? You're scared to let go and fall back and let Spirit catch you, although you want to. You know what I mean? So you are the dreamer of your dream, and you are in control of your shit. So no matter how many times you feel like you fail, or, you know, or whatever the case may be, don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard. You will always be guided back to the light. Always. All right? So I hope that made sense. And Leslie, I hope you enjoyed that. And, well, guys, let's make shit happen. All right? Take care. Bye.